Kia ora, Libra. How are you? This is your reading. Thanks for joining the Lightroom forecast. This is your reading for this up-and-coming full moon in Capricorn. Quite a big moon, quite a big time when we look around globally, and yeah, it's quite a it feels a slightly constrictive time at the moment, but that may well be just because down here in Aotearoa it's winter and it's really cold at the moment, especially today. Anyway, what other housekeeping items? Do check out, please do check out for a more holistic view if you know what your other, if you know your houses and planets, etc. Do check out your ascendant moon, Venus and Jupiter. Excuse me. And remember, these are very intuitive tarot readings. And so take what resonates and just leave what doesn't. There's a gazillion, million, zillion readers out there for you to find what suits your taste. So thanks for joining me. Let's see, Libra, what's in the storyline today for Libras, please. Just get a few cards. Oh, we'll get a few cards, and as usual, we'll go through and clarify. I also did a little extra video this time round on rock wisdom, because I just got love rocks, and I just got a new found a new and quite unusual beautiful aqua coloured I better get the word right, hemiphorite, which I think originated from China, that particular, or that rock. Very interesting formations. Anyway, do check that little video out. It's up there somewhere. So yeah, thanks for joining the Lightroom. What have we got? Well, we have got experimentation, a youthful level of exuberance. We've got the experimental Prince of Wands. Yes, hot and cold. Yes, but unreliable. Risk-taking, you know. It's finding our way. And, you know, we're looking at wands, we're looking at fire. We're looking at those aspects of fire within ourselves. And we're looking at how we use our will. And actually also how we understand it. And often we begin understanding it when we take risks and when we are experimental. The second card is the Emperor, talking of restrictions or constriction. We see those qualities in the Emperor, but we also see discipline and organisation, or being organised. We see, I just thought something here. What was I thinking? We see Saturn's, you know, we see the work that we actually need to do in order to fulfill some Saturnian plan for ourselves, for us as well. I do get that quite strongly. And then we have the so in some ways there's a bit of a potentially fractious relationship between these two cards. And then we have the beautiful Queen. We have the Queen who's made it there. You know, this is very much a Capricorn card. Who's made it to the top of that hill. And she reviews in the Thoth deck. This Queen, very powerful in the in the material world. She looks back over the ground that she herself has covered. There's some confusion here. I mean that within these three cards, there's kind of, I just see Libra, a level of confusion for some Libras here. We see on the bottom of the deck the Seven of Discs, which itself is about review and assessment, and often an energetic review. I think the last reading on that new moon in Cancer, Libra's reading, was largely about energy assessment and what you were kind of sacrificing a little bit, that maybe the scales were out of balance. But anyway, we'll go through and clarify these cards for you, Libra. So let's look at this Prince of Wands. And quite a sexy prince, you know, there's that element to it. But maybe slightly deceptive for some Librans out there. I only say that because we've got the Five of Swords, you know, understanding. You know, look, I do feel it as being understanding how to be honourable to yourself. I mean, more than anything else. You know, the fives are difficult cards. They are conflictual cards. And of course, here we see, you know, the battle's already been done. What are we fighting? We're not fighting anything when we walk onto the... I'm not suggesting that you're doing this, Libra, but I'm describing this card. We're not fighting any battle if we just go there after it's all been done and take the swords. We're taking credit for something. We need to understand how to be honourable to ourselves. That's just as important as being honourable for others. You know what I mean? And with that, this is the learning process of that prince as well. And then we have the Lovers, a choice. We make that choice. It's also about balancing and synthesizing, or integrating is probably the better word, the dualistic nature. Male, female. We understand both aspects of ourselves, whether you're whatever you identify with in terms of gender. We still have male qualities, which are deemed to be, you know, certain qualities, and then we have female qualities, which are deemed to be certain qualities. And we amalgamate, we integrate. This is a learning process. And as we are in an age which is heavily an age of energy, everyone is obsessed with it. Whether it's on the what and how we use energy personally, what energy is being used, what is good for this planet. You know, it's just energy all the way. So anyway, this is interesting. Let's look at the Emperor Libra. I'm getting a bit distracted. Emperor for Libra, please. The Lovers is coming up a lot. But it's not. You know, it's like a joining. The Emperor, Wheel of Fortune. Look, I do get a thing here that yeah, there's a friction between this Emperor and this Prince, because the Prince is learning. The Prince actually wants to learn and might make a few cock-ups along the way, but wants to experience something new and experiment and take risks. The Emperor wants to control that. That's what I see it. Anyway, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. We do the work in order to, as I was saying at the beginning, the Saturnian work. What we need to do, what is required, then we're free. You know what I mean? Like you do, it's all about balance. Balance. You know, you do all your admin and then you can go and do whatever you want to do, you know. But there's always periods where you have to, you know, there are certain things that we have to do. But when that gets too extreme, there's something about that when it just gets too extreme and it becomes like fascista. Is it not good, or is it? You know, we see this happening around the world, Libra. Anyway, well, we're holding on to power, really. The wheel has to keep turning. And it will, anyway, whether you're on it or not, you know. Okay, Libra. Let's look at the Queen of Discs. So it's pretty amazing, you know. Queen of Discs. It is something to do with this. It is something to do with integrity. Whether it's actually about the integrity of others, the honor of others, or whether it's in relation to yourself, Libra. You know, we get the Queen of Pentacles again to confirm the Queen of Pentacles, but then we have the cousin, really, to the Five of Swords here. We get the 7. To me, you know, to me this reading speaks of, you know, on a really personal level, even though these are general readings, they can only be but general readings. On a personal level, it is about knowing you're being honourable with yourself. But there's also a kind of funny thread through here, which is about judging particular, like being too, what's the word, like being too polarized is the word. So if we're on the side of a kind of righteous conservative nature, where we all know what that kind of entails, you know. So we have that perspective in life. We're on that right-wing conservative kind of polarity, or we're at the other. And so, you know, it's so about scales and balance here. But so we're on the left, you know. During or at this time, and this is less on the personal, it still relates to that Libra. Particularly at this time, we cannot afford to be blinded by our own polarizations, if that makes sense. On a more personal level, Libra, it still relates. And there's a lot in here that's sort of is like you trying to, it's either you, it's either you facilitating that for other people around you, like facilitating some smooth outcome between quite polar opposites here. And we would say that, you know, it's like a Libra reading, and so you kind of come up with that thing about, you know, balance and negotiation and all that sort of thing. But people are getting more and more polarized, and it's just not good. Because things are breaking down. And that's the thing. That's when fascism gets like a foothold. And then even on a personal level, people are looking for scapegoats. They're looking for people that are different from them to be scapegoats. It's not good, Libra. So to be confident, to feel that you are being honourable in your dealings. So with those two queens, we get that Seven of Swords, who actually leaves two. How generous. Just in case. For later, you know. So he's holding these 5. He's holding those 5. Very similar cards. But how do we go about doing what we do? Are we up front or manipulative? How do we do what we do? How do we get what we want? I guess is the question here. And the Queen of Pentacles is a queen that reviews that. And she very much sits in this physical world, you know. She looks back to see how she got up there. How did she get there? Was it by sublimating other people, the right word, or standing on a lot of people? I mean, how did she get up there? Or being a bit sneaky, you know. Anyway, Libra, this is what I'm getting today. So it could relate to other people in your life and all of that. Now, and then we have, of course, that assessment card, another 7, the 7 of Discs, looking back, reviewing what efforts we made in the past, what we get back from that, and how we want to continue. Look, don't feel, you know, we get the 9 of Wands, Wounded Warrior, yep, defensive. We've all got this archetype at certain times. Defensive. So what's happened in the past is just going to keep happening in the future, is it? Not necessarily, but we're going to react, deal with it in the same way that we always did, because we're so goddamn defensive. You know, this is this card in a nutshell. We cannot hold on to the past. We cannot base our decisions on what's occurred in the past. We need new sight. We need to let go of those old anchors that keep us in this place because they're not useful anymore. They might have been good as a protective mechanism for a while, but they're not anymore, Libra, you know. And maybe this is something that you're realizing. Maybe it's an aspect that you realize within yourself, because quite frankly, we all experience that. We all embody that at times, at certain times. Some of us more than others, some of us completely unconscious of it. So it's pretty interesting. Let's get just to lighten things up here for you, Libra. Let's get a Brian Freud, Pixie and Fairy. Well, we've got 2, which are probably 2 of the nicest cards here. We get to Byra of the Waters. Where is the limit to healing? There is no limit to healing. Just like there's no limit to the water levels. It's only contained by whatever is able to contain it. It's a beautiful card. We're bathing in that sort of electric light of healing. Now, what does that first thing you think of healing conjure up? The first thing, a level of peace, but really the first thing is a level of self-forgiveness, Libra. We also have a more purple, more electric blue light, the fairy godmother This is a wonderful realization because I do see it as that. And you're in proceeds of a kind of level of rebalance, excuse me. Take of it what you will. I think your reading really hooked into the collective threads and waves, actually, at this time. Now, let's get an art oracle card. They're quite good too. Life, work, inspiration. Life, work, and inspiration. Just one card for Libra, please. One card for Libra. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the temperature in here, but because it's freezing. But some of the cards seem to be a bit stubborn today. Okay, Libra, we've got wow. And we've got, Paul Gauguin. Life, work, inspiration. Go far to go far, yeah. Exaggerate the subtle, share the unseen. And only an outsider sees inward. Well, that's interesting. So that's Gauguin with his little hairy chest. And let's see, we have journey map cards. We've got Fortuna. Look, this is about, you know, it's about wisdom. It's also about time passing and these pearls of wisdom, these pearls of experience that hold more value possibly than what you think. And the time it takes and the grit that it needed in order to come to form. I love this card. I love it. Fortuna. On that note, lovely Libra, things are getting a bit grainy here as the sun's gone. Well, it never came out anyway today. But thanks for joining me, and yeah, take care over this full moon and Capricorn period. And we'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed that, and do check out the other readings as well for a more holistic view. I think I said that before. Anyway, ka kite. Bye.